Every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is a story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Good evening and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Ebulomo Oguntoye. In our major story, former President Olusegun Obasanjo visits President Muhammadu Buhari in Aso Rock. Also in this program, Governor Rauf Aregbesola visits State House of Assembly aftermath impeachment saga. Troops in hot pursuit of attackers who killed 4 soldiers and a policeman in attack on Limbe Jetty on Friday night. Outside Nigeria, father of late 18-month-old victim of Jewish settlers' attack in the West Bank dies from wounds sustained from same attack. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo on Friday evening visited President Muhammadu Buhari inside the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja. The two leaders met for a few minutes behind closed doors inside the official residence of the president. Obasanjo, decked in blue agbada and a cap to match, arrived at the premises after the day's work when the president had returned from his office. The president's residence is not open to journalists except on special occasions. Obasanjo must have decided to act on his knowledge of the presidential villa to visit the president at that time, away from the curious eyes of reporters. That was the first time the former president would be visiting Buhari inside the presidential villa since his inauguration. President Muhammadu Buhari's silence following the recent sacking of 8 group executive directors of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation has continued to delay the appointment of new directors. It was learnt that 8 departments were headed by the sacked GEDs had been pruned down to 4 directorates, while persons to fill these positions have been picked from within the corporation. Sources at the corporation stated that senior officials at the national oil firm had contested plans to bring in individuals outside the NNPC to fill the positions. At the corporation on Thursday, workers were seen discussing the recent happenings at the firm, while many made it clear that they were apprehensive with respect to plans by the federal government to unbundle the NNPC. The Osun State Governor Rauf Aregbesola says democracy is the best form of government that can foster equitable justice and national development. Speaking on the floor of the National Assembly in the first joint session after the impeachment saga, Aregbesola praised the House leadership, especially the Speaker, Najim Salam, for their stabilizing roles in Osun State as at a politically trying time. Rashid reports.
Few days after the Osun State House of Assembly threw into the trash the petition of Justice Folahomi Oloyede, the executive arm of the Osun State government came visiting at the House of Assembly, with the public also having access to the chamber. Speaking for the first time since the end of the impeachment saga, Rauf Aregbesola says parliamentary system is the best form of government for the growth and development of developing countries of the world. Aregbesola highlighted the importance of the legislature owing to its roles in the act of governance.
Best form of government for effective development and progress in a developing economy or nation.
But while many will see this visit by Aregbesola as one of appreciation and politically motivated, it is one both sides says it is to celebrate the speaker, Najim Salam, who clocked 50. Some of his colleagues in the House also extolled his leadership qualities.
As the Speaker of Ogun State said, the only thing you can give him as a birthday gift is that support to succeed.
I want to believe that you are being celebrated today as a result of your exemplary leadership qualities.
I said the Lord did not just come before him, but I want the whole world to know this and learn from it. That is a contented man and is somebody that waits for God's time.
Najim Salam, while acknowledging the honor bestowed on him by the House of Assembly, says it is a challenge to do more in the service of the state.
As I step up my activities dealing with the needy, I shall continue to provide my shoulder for the rejected, the disadvantaged, the neglected, and the downtrodden to learn on to the best of my ability.
While the time now is for merrymaking between the House of Assembly and the Executive, the public waits with anticipation the next step by the State House of Assembly on the petitioner in the impeachment saga for Lahomi Oloyede. Rashid, CoreTV News, Oshogbo.
The Osun State Legislatures Forum, comprising lawmakers at both the National Assembly and Osun State House of Assembly, have invited stakeholders in the state, including former governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Iyolo Mishori, to a conference on how to move the state out of its present economic crisis. The lawmakers, who spoke through Ayo Midiron at a press conference in Oshogbo on Saturday, said the forum is convoking the meeting in order to find solutions on how the state government can get out of the present economic quagmire. The forum said it is expecting Governor Rauf Aregbesola, his deputy, Titi Laoye Tomori, Speaker of the House of Assembly Najim Salam, and other leaders to attend the conference. Omidiron said the forum decided to call all stakeholders together to brainstorm on why the state had been experiencing difficulty in meeting its financial obligations to workers and contractors. Omidiron added that the outcome of the conference will be presented to Aregbesola, stating that the forum would wait to see what the governor would do with it. Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Lasun Yusuf, who is from Osun State, was absent at the press conference, but Omidiron said the lawmaker was expected to attend the conference. The majority leader of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbadabiamila, has appreciated the Surulere Federal Constituency, party members, and his party, the All Progressives Congress, for his emergence as the House leader of the House of Representatives for their continued support, also affirming his existing relationship with the Speaker, Yakubu Dogara, despite all that has transpired between them. He added that he will continue to do his bit and respect party supremacy at all times. He also added that the House is now poised to work to ensure the success of the party at the federal level and ensure the implementation of its manifesto.
God wants me to be at this point in time, and that's where I want to be. I want to be wherever God wants me to be. The speakership has come and gone. We contested for it. I was my party's candidate. My party members wanted me. My party leaders wanted me. I had the support of the party across board. But God had other plans for me, and I'm satisfied with that. I have a good, cordial working relationship with the Speaker, Honorable Dogara. I've always had with him even before this contest, and I intend to continue having a good relationship with him. A contest does not have to be a battle. That's what it is, just a contest.
A former secretary to Edo State Government, Usage Ize-Yamu, has urged the network of civil societies in the state to work to ensure that the state government does not mortgage the state. The Benin-born politician and aspirant to 2016 governorship election dropped this hint during the unveiling of the Human Rights House in Benin City. Our correspondent in Edo State has more in this report presented from our studio.
The former secretary to the Edo State government, Usage Ize-Yamu, says the people of the state must all come together to ensure that the state is not thrown into a major debt crisis with the attitude of the Oshiomhole-led government.
The future of our state must not be mortgaged. And in any event, when money is being borrowed, people deserve to know what is this money being used for. The ones you borrowed before, what was it used for? How much have you paid and how much is balancing? The new one you want to borrow, what are you going to use it for? These are questions that the people must be giving answers to.
He, however, commended the leadership and the role of the civil society in the state and in the country with its constant stand on the part of the oppressed and the downtrodden. Barrister Abraham Owewe, president of Network of Civil Society Organization on Nigeria, who led the police, politicians, traditional rulers and other stakeholders to the ceremony to unveil the Human Rights House, said they will continue to be on the side of the masses through constructive engagements and peaceful means to achieve results, adding that there are several causes and cases of extrajudicial killings getting solved in the state.
Is to call for a convocation of these various organizations so we can bring our hands together and strike very stronger blows which will liberate our people from freedom, mental slavery, lack, oppression, rejection. For us generally, we are going to engage the process in the most peaceful manner, and we're going to ensure that our people that never again the average adult child, never again the average man in Nigeria will be oppressed. The Human Rights House has this nonsense secretariat have now been christened. It's open to all. It's a place the weak will come and get succor. It's a place where you can come and will assist you to get access to justice.
Edo State Police Commissioner Samuel Deguye, who was present at the ceremony, assured the civil rights group that he will ensure an open-door policy both at the command and across the divisions to evade frictions.
Of the conflicts that we might be experiencing, we found out that the genesis purely on communication gap. My office will be made open to you 24 hours basis. And if there's any need for us to play any ambiguity, please be free.
Meanwhile, executive members of the organization later stepped out for recognition during the ceremony.
The Katsina Central Federal Constituency by-election held on Saturday recorded low turnout of voters as very few electorate came out to vote. Reports from the constituency shows that most of the electorate went about their normal businesses while the election lasted. There was also no enforcement or restriction of movement of vehicles within the metropolis. In Wakilin Kudu, Kangiwa, Sabuwa Ungua, Garama, ATC polling units, where there were over 400 registered voters, less than 100 voters were accredited to vote. Election materials were distributed to polling units in good time in all the polling units visited, while there was also adequate security to prevent any possible breakdown of law and order. The few electorates that went to the polling units conducted themselves in orderly manner. Voting commenced at 1 p.m. in almost all the polling units visited. The Deputy Governor, Manir Yakubu, did cast his vote at about 2 p.m. at Wakilin Kudu polling unit and expressed his satisfaction with the conduct of the election. The state PDP chairman Salisu Majigiri also expressed dissatisfaction on the low turnout of voters during the election, but commended the security measures taken in polling units. The military authorities say troops are combing the creeks in search of suspected oil bunkerers who attacked the base of the Joint Task Force in Nembe. 4 soldiers and a policeman were confirmed killed in the incident, but Defense Headquarters say investigation is on. It said through its Twitter account that its men would arrest the perpetrators and ensure they face justice for their crime. The suspected bunkerers who were believed to have arrived at JTF base in 5 speedboats just before midnight on Friday night to carry out the surprise attack. It's the CoreTV Primetime News. We'll take a break and return with more. Don't go away.
Is it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trading looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to the secret. I said to hell.
On Core Digest.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday. will bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody has a right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
Many thanks for being there with us. And if you're just joining us, here are the news that made our headlines. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo visits President Muhammadu Buhari in Aso Rock. Governor Raul Faragbeshola visits State House of Assembly aftermath impeachment saga. Troops in hot pursuit of attackers who killed 4 soldiers and a policeman in attack on Nimbi Jetty on Friday night. And for more on CoreTV News, you can visit our social media platforms. On Facebook, facebook.com/CoreTV News. Our Twitter handle @CoreTV News NG. On YouTube, youtube.com/CoreTV, leave a space, then news. The Lagos-Ibadan Expressway has been experiencing some level of traffic congestion, which peaked on Saturday with the rounding off of the annual convention of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. The gridlock, which started from the front of the Redemption Camp in Mowe to the Berger end of Lagos, kept commuters on a spot for hours. Operatives of Department of State Services and the Nigeria Police on Saturday arrested some officials of the National Youth Council of Nigeria at Agura Hotel, Abuja, where election of a new leadership for the association was being held. The arrest was based on a petition by the outgoing president of the council, Henry Nwabueze, alleging that some youths planned to cause a breach of peace in Abuja. The security men later reinforced and took over the hotel, apparently to frustrate the election of the new officials of the council. But the action of the security personnel did not stop the election, as NYCN officials who escaped arrest relocated to another location where they conducted the poll. It was learnt that a leading contestant for the council leadership, who eventually emerged as the NYCN president, Ikenga Ugochinyere, and the electoral officers were earlier invited by the FCC Police Command for questioning. Following the operation by the security agencies, a press conference earlier fixed by the council to present the new leadership was aborted. Chairman of the Electoral Committee, John Nwakama, who declared Ugochinyere winner of the election, said the era of imposition of candidate of the council was over. According to him, Ugochinyere polled a total of 209 from 273 delegates who were earlier accredited to vote on Thursday, adding that some of the delegates left the venue following police harassment. The Lagos State Police Command on Saturday foiled an attempt to kidnap an Indian in Ikorodu area of Lagos. The spokesman of the State Police Command, Patricia Amadin, said a suspect has been arrested in connection with the incident. She told newsmen that a staff of the Star Metal Company, Odonla Ikorodu, and others still at large were involved in the crime. Amadi said the suspect has made some useful statements to the police on the kidnap bid. She added that a manhunt is on for the fleeing members of the gang. More governorship aspirants in Kogi State on Friday turned up at the National Secretariat of the All Progressives Congress to pick up nomination forms. The election is slated for November 21st, but no fewer than 20 aspirants have already shown interest in running on APC's platform. Two of them, Idris Hussein Kashim and Sanusi Abubakar, are convinced that they can introduce positive change in the state in line with what is at the national level. They lamented that since the creation of Kogi State in August 1991, it has remained stagnant in terms of development due to poor leadership qualities of all the past administrators. In Ado-Ekiti, as the ideological warfare between the Ekiti State PDP-led government and the All Progressives Congress got nearly to physical fisticuffs, drama ensued as Femi Bamishile, an APC stalwart, accused the state governor, Idili Faishi, of shutting down a petrol station which he had earlier scheduled to distribute free PMS for Okada riders in Ado-Ekiti. The aftermath of the refusal saw major streets of Ado-Ekiti experience mild protests from the Okada riders led by Femi Bamishile as the state government denies the allegation. Rashid has more.
Call it politics, you may be right, and you may not be far from the truth if you prefer social gesture. The move by a former Ekiti House Speaker and an APC chieftain, Femi Bamishile, to distribute petrol to commercial motorcyclists appear to have hit the rock. The pump station where the free distribution was to take place was locked down. Reacting to this development, Femi Bamishile, who appeared unhappy with the situation, accused the state governor, Idili Faishi, of shutting down the station.
The kind of brutish way of leadership that we have in the state, it is from the state government that has been instructed. A text message was sent on my phone instructing that this gas station be shut down.
The inability of the motorcyclists to get fuel at the petrol station situated at Ijibo spawned a mild protest from the riders cutting across major streets of Ado-Ekiti as they go in search of fuel stations willing to queue into the plan of Bamishile. On her part, the state government denies shutting the pump station for any reason.
Our government, when we are having in Ekiti today, they are not doing anything for us. They are deceiving us.
Ekiti state government has not closed down any filling petrol station in Ekiti state today. Ekiti state government did not do that. If anybody is saying that, that person is saying that, he's saying it to cover up his own inadequacies.
While this milieu lasted, Femi Bamishile vows to continue with the exercise.
We will still take these good people to another petrol station to make sure they get fuel today. And this process that has started today, the 6th of, I think the 6th or 7th of August, would continue up until God knows when.
With the commercial motorcyclists finally getting the free distribution of PMS, the political terrain in Ekiti State may continue to get more dramatic in the coming days. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
Emergency workers in Kaduna State have confirmed the death of at least 2 persons in a flooding incident that ravaged communities in Kachia local government. The State Emergency Management Agency also disclosed that several homes and farmlands were affected. The Executive Secretary of the agency, Ezekiel Babakarik, who has since visited the scene, blamed the incident on poor building plan. Amina Nebi has more in this report presented from our studio.
This is the aftermath of recent heavy rainfall in some parts of Kaduna State. Several communities were affected and at least 2 persons have been confirmed dead by emergency workers.
I will just want to use this medium to call on the citizen. A lot of people went and blocked the waterways, built along the banks side, the river banks, and other things. The blockage of the drainages and whatever are some of the causes of all these floods. And we want to call on the entire people of Kaduna State to be very mindful on how they go by putting structures, and that will go a long way to reduce that to the barest minimum. And that is my passionate appeal to the citizens of Kaduna State.
Affected residents of the area are looking forward to government coming to the raid. They are also looking forward to a lasting solution to a problem they say had been with them for several years.
Today, being week Friday now, we cannot even get access to go into our office. And we have a lot of new cadets which we want to talk to them, orientate them before sending them to the national headquarters for training, 4 weeks training. And there's no way we can get into the office, which it have set us back.
But we have an office there, we cannot enter our office. See us outside because of the water since Wednesday now. And our call to the government is for them to come and help us in this area so that water will not pack, especially those people that they are living there.
Sincerely, my appeal to the government for now, this thing is terrible because when you look at the houses over there, most of them now, they are like semi-refugees anywhere they are. And we believe in his capacity, the way he's going about his government in in Kaduna State. People are happy with him, and we think His Excellency Governor El-Rufai has the capacity to bring change.
In fact, we are sleeping with one eye open and one eye closed. The water is threatening, as you can see. People cannot go out. We can't go out. We can't come in. It's indoor things. And then we pray that it will not be worse. Because I remember vividly, we were there before yesterday. We were under this tree. Yesterday, we are on top of the fence. Now we cannot even approach the fence. That means it's coming out.
The two major local governments affected by the incident are Kaduna South and Kaduna North, and there are already suggestions that the authorities reactivate local emergency management committees for quicker response to emergency situations.
Nasarawa State Governor Tanko Al-Makura has described recent flooding incidents in some parts of the state as a fallout of improper conduct by some members of the public. He noted that the drainage channels have been turned into refuse dump in the affected areas, but pledged to do something about it. Al-Makura spoke to State House correspondents after a meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari in Abuja. He also denied claims that he has a hand in fresh killings in the state.
I want to limit myself on the issue of Maraba, particularly where the flood this year appears to have gone a little more than what happened last year, with particular reference to certain areas. I'm talking about Kabai. The people in Kabai Lane are really complaining about the flood and how water has caused so much disruption in their activities. But that is understandable because when there was a request that the road was impassable, was unmotorable because of the neglect of the past, I took upon myself to award contract to ensure that people living at that axis benefit from good roads. I've given a contract of over 800 million to have a road that will connect them with the main artery so that it will reduce the problem of traffic. But unfortunately, while the work was going on, the rains have arrived. And there was nothing we could do. It's force majeure. We can't stop the rains from coming because we have projects. So the people have to be a little more patient until the rains subside, and they will have a brand new road that they will be proud to use.
We'll take another break now and return with business, sports, and other stories from outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
Some pundits believe that as long as the political system is driven by selected few, corruption may be difficult to fight.
You should be careful about what you say. I am not the only politician. Even if I've wronged anyone, it is time to forgive me.
Please for Arena every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. and a repeat broadcast every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has said the federal government will always take responsible decisions that will promote and protect the local automotive industry. Osinbajo stated this when the management team of Pan Nigeria Limited visited him at the Presidential Villa Abuja recently. Osinbajo was pleased by interest shown by reputable auto manufacturers to set up plants in the country on account of the federal government's National Automotive Development Policy. The NADP has so far attracted about 15 automobile plants into the country. He assured Pan Nigeria of the federal government's support and expressed his pleasure with the quality, standard and beauty of the Peugeot vehicles now on offer to customers. The National Pension Commission has said it will hasten the process of harmonizing and integrating its database with the National Identity Database to ensure complete synergy with the National Identity Management Commission. The Director General, PENCOM, Chinelo Anohu Amazu, stated this when the Director General, Chief Executive Officer of the National Identity Management Commission, Chris Oyeminam, visited the PENCOM headquarters to further review collaborations. She further said that PENCOM was poised to serve not only the pensioners of today, but the contributors to the various pension funds who are the pensioners of tomorrow. The Western Marine Command of the Nigeria Customs Service has announced its latest seizure of 3,221 cartons of smuggled poultry worth 19.326 million naira. This brings the total worth of smuggled poultry impounded by the command since the launch of Operation Hawk Descent to 31 million naira. The Customs Area Controller of the command, Yusuf Umar, said since the launch of the operation, the command has increased the regularity of officers manning the creeks, rivulets, and rivers where they carry out their statutory duties. Umar said the command had so far recorded a total seizure of 5,083 cartons of frozen poultry products with a value of 31.8 million naira. He added that the command was in effective control of the waterways in the western region, which spans from Kogi, Kwara, Ondo, Ogun, Lagos, Niger, Kebbi State, and its interfaces with Nigeria's neighboring countries such as the Republic of Togo and Benin. Security challenges in Borno State have crippled the hides and skin business in the state, while the state-owned shoemaking and hide tannery firm Natal Nigeria Limited has been grappling with problems. The bustle that used to characterize the premises of the Maiduguri Central Abattoir is completely gone, especially after the blast that rocked the place not long ago. The general manager of the Maiduguri-based Natal Nigeria Limited, Usman Tumsu, lamented the predicament of the company while speaking with newsmen in Maiduguri. He said the outfit, established in 1982, comprised of finished leather and shoemaking sections, stating that after operating for 10 years without making profit, it folded up. The manager of Borno Abattoir, Baba Maizana, said the state government had spent about 164 million naira on the rehabilitation of the Maiduguri Central Abattoir to improve cleanliness in the slaughterhouse. And now to other stories outside Nigeria. A Palestinian man whose child was killed in an arson attack blamed on Jewish settlers has died of his injuries. Saad Dawab Shah, 32, died in an Israeli hospital where he was being treated for second-degree burns to most of his body. His son Ali, 18 months, died in the attack in the village of Duma in the occupied West Bank on 31st July. His mother and his 4-year-old brother remain in critical condition. Relatives said the funeral would take place on Saturday. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has called the attack an act of terrorism and has vowed to apprehend the arsonists. Palestinian officials, however, said they held Israel fully responsible. A jury in the U.S. state of Colorado has spared gunman James Holmes the death penalty for killing 12 people at a screening of a Batman film in 2012. He will serve life in jail without the possibility of parole. The defense team had argued that the former neuroscience graduate student, now 27, was insane at the time. The jury agreed with prosecutors that Holmes, though mentally ill, was responsible for his actions, but it was not unanimous on the death penalty. That lack of agreement meant the jury accepted he would receive an automatic life sentence without parole. The decision of the jury, a panel of 9 women and 3 men, was revealed by Judge Carlos Sammer in a courtroom in the city of Centennial on Friday. During his 3-month trial, Holmes declined to testify in his own defense or to make a statement expressing his remorse. The sentence is expected to be imposed formally at a later hearing. At least 13 people are thought to have been killed, including 5 UN workers, in a hostage siege at a hotel in the central Malian town of Zavari. A further 4 UN workers survived by hiding in cupboards for almost 24 hours as the attack unfolded. The suspected Islamist gunmen had retreated to the hotel after attacking a nearby army base. The siege was ended after government troops stormed the building early on Saturday. No group has said it carried out the attack. At least 3 of the gunmen are dead and 7 have been arrested, while 5 Malian soldiers were said to have been killed in the attack. And now to sports stories. The Lawn Tennis Association has failed to persuade Florence and the Machine to change the date of their show at the Manchester Arena so the venue could host Britain's Davis Cup semi-final. Glasgow's Emirates Arena is now expected to stage Team GB's meeting with Australia from 18-20 September. 18 to 20 rather. The LTA also looked into holding the tie at the Hydro in Glasgow but found the roof would not be high enough. The LTA's chief executive, Michael Downey, has had several conversations with Florence's agent but was told a gig at Manchester Arena, which has a capacity of over 20,000 on the Friday of Britain's Davis Cup semi-final, must go ahead as planned. The LTA has been granted an extra 5 days to nominate a venue for the tie, with Glasgow now expected to be confirmed before next Wednesday's deadline. The Emirates staged Britain's first-round victory over the United States, and the plan is in place to expand the capacity of the arena to 9,000 in time for the semi-final. Jim Furyk stumped into a 4-shot lead in the second round of the WGC Bridgestone Invitational in Ohio. The American hit a second straight 66 to go 8 under par, 4 shots clear of compatriots Bubba Watson and Dodson Johnson and Ireland's Shane Lowry. Northern Ireland's Graeme McDowell, who matched Furyk on day one, is 1 shot further back after carding a 7-1, level with McDowell, and 3 under is first-round leader Danny Lee, after the New Zealander could only manage a 72. McDowell enjoyed a strong first round, having carded 5 birdies for a 4 under 66, but fell behind on Friday. The 36-year-old has struggled for form this season, managing just 1 top 10 finish, and he has dropped from 20th to 60th in the rankings. And that's it on CoreTV Primetime News tonight. Before we go, a recap of the major stories. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo visited President Muhammadu Buhari in Aso Rock. Governor Rauf Argbashola visited State House of Assembly, aftermath impeachment saga. Troops in hot pursuit of attackers who killed 4 soldiers and a policeman in attack on Nimbi on Friday night. Many thanks for watching. I am Epulomo Okuntoye.